Hey, what is up, guys? I am going to give you a RAW review. Now, I haven't given you, well, actually, I haven't given you a wrestling review with this camera in quite some time because, I haven't had the camera. But I came out here. I have to use this camera because my laptop has the webcam. My laptop is not going to survive probably as long as the video, so I'm just going to use the camera. I'm fine with that. So this RAW, this was for July 8th, 2013, and we have JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler in comment here. This RAW, though, you got the debut of the Wyatt family. You got a great wrestling matches on here. Pretty good promos. Wasn't too much promos, but and they built up a little bit the, well, they don't call it the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank contract a little bit. So I was fine with that. So let's just get right into it. So it just starts off by showing the Wyatt family video package. You're gonna be I wasn't pretty impressed. They do a lot of stuff with the Wyatt family. They have big plans for these guys. Team Bricky is cutting a promo. Since Vicky Guerrero has to have a job evaluation, she has to, she's trying to kiss up to the fans and, try to make it so the fans want her to be the general manager so that she can keep her job because she knows the fans hate her. And she actually tries to put down the fans, but then Jerry the King Lawler gets on the mic and says that the fans can vote whether she passed her as a GM or failed as a GM or Raw supervisor, whatever you want to call it. And she does make some matches tonight. She made a match between CM Punk and Randy Orton, Christian and Kane, and a match that was right now was between Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, WrestleMania 28 rematch. Let's get right into it. So we get Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, and throughout the night it showed stuff that Rob Van Dam has done in his career, because I think they're trying to get not all the stuff, but like moments that were made you want to pop for Rob Van Dam to get him noticeable, and that was why I was fine with it. They're trying to get RVD noticeable because some fans didn't watch TNA and they didn't watch WWE back when he was in it, and I did a little bit, but I got myself familiar with him, so they're just trying to get the fans that don't know who he is, familiar with RVD. And they showed him win the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 22, which sets up for what they show later on in the night. So let's just get right into it. And oh yeah, I was just about to say the next thing, but Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, they had a great match tonight. Daniel Bryan did good and Sheamus did good. Sheamus and Daniel Bryan had a great match. Daniel Bryan did a high cross body. He did kicks. One part in the match is Sheamus went to go off the top rope. Daniel Bryan moved out of the way, and then Daniel Bryan went to do that flying knee that he does off the apron. But Sheamus caught him, and I think he lost him, and he put him face first into the barricade, and both guys get injured. And then Sheamus is dominating, no, I think Daniel Bryan was dominating Sheamus, and then Sheamus started to come back. He did the clubs, and then he did a flying shoulder block to Daniel Bryan off the top turnbuckle. And then Daniel Bryan did the yes kicks. He also did the tried to go for the diving headbutt, but he missed. Sheamus went for the Celtic cross a bunch of times, but Daniel Bryan kept fighting out of it. He put him against the turnbuckles, but Daniel Bryan tried to roll him up for the win, but Sheamus got him with the Texas Cloverleaf, but Daniel Bryan was able to counter and rolled up Sheamus for the pinfall. I thought that was fine. I like what they're doing with Daniel Bryan. They're doing a pretty good job with Daniel Bryan. So far he's beaten 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Then he beat Randy Orton, and now he's beaten Sheamus. So they're going on the right path with Daniel Bryan right now. And I think that's why he could win Money in the Bank. They could be voting him up for Money in the Bank. And we're gonna have and then after the match, though, Sheamus and Bryan shook hands. Pretty good match. Check it out. And then throughout the night, like I said, they did a lot of stuff with the Wyatt family. I guess they had a WWE.com reporter go to the Wyatt families, and they first tried this house. They reached these two random countrymen, and they said that the house, and they just pointed to the direction of the house. I actually thought that was pretty funny. Then we get a WWE Rewind. It shows the match between Alicia Fox and Caitlyn, and Biggie Langston and AJ Lee's backstage. AJ Lee's concerned about Caitlyn, and she doesn't want, I guess, Caitlyn to get her hand to get in backstage balls before Divas Championship match. So, but Dolph Ziggler comes up and he says that like he doesn't pretty much, I guess, doesn't want to be with AJ right now. And and AJ says that she will do whatever it takes to make sure Dolph Ziggler gets back that World Heavyweight Championship. And then Dolph Ziggler says they would do anything to make sure that he gets his third World Championship. They're definitely going to split them up. Because Ziggler's a face. I think he's a face. Because right now, then I got me confused, but he's supposed to be a face. They're not really going the right direction of him being a face if he's still with heels of AJ Lee and Biggie Langston. That's why I think at Money in the Bank, they need, if they're gonna keep Ziggler face, he has to get away from them. So they're gonna Biggie Langston's gonna cost Dolph Ziggler the World Championship against Del Rio, and that's gonna get them away from them and set up Dolph Ziggler versus Biggie Langston at SummerSlam. That's what has to happen. It just has to happen. Mark Henry video package, it sold the same one as last week. Oh, I forgot to read the text. I've been forgetting to read the text lately. Says, tonight on Raw, John Cena and Mark Henry face off. Vicky Guerrero undergoes a job evaluation. The Wyatt family debuts. Vicky Guerrero did announce that too. We already knew what was happening though. And then we get Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Tons of Funk, which is Brodus Clay and Sweet Tea. And during this, it shows Rob Van Dam defeat Eddie Guerrero in a ladder match to become the new Intercontinental Champion. And it happened on May 7th, 2002 on Raw. But the match itself was pretty good. This was a good tag team match, I think. They got their tag teams noticed. I was kind of worried at times that Tons of Funk were gonna win. When Roman Reigns went to pick up Brodus Clay, and then he just kind of couldn't pick him up, and he rolled him up, and he kicked out. It's a little bit mad, but he didn't lose. And when Sweet Tea hit his A-bomb, or whatever he calls it now, the T-bomb, but Seth Rollins was able to kick out, and then at the point of the match, Roman Reigns tags himself in, and Seth Rollins does pretty much like a flip over the top rope to Brodus Clay, and Roman Reigns spears Sweet Tea for the win. It was fine. I'm glad that they actually had a tag team match. It wasn't like a squash. And they're probably gonna, and I can see them still be tag team champions, and the Shield, and maybe Dean Ambrose will have Money in the Bank and the United States Championship. We'll see. Then they get the Money in the Bank ad. Then the WWE.com reporter finally arrives at the Wyatt family's house. There was this weird thing where the guy that wears the goat mask, or lamb mask, whatever you want to call it, was like chopping up wood, and he had firewood going, and he just filmed that. And then another guy came up, and he just said, "Follow me." and that was it. There was nothing else really happened. It was funny though. I actually thought that was funny and cool, very dark and mysterious. And then we get John Cena and Mark Henry's face off. Cena just tells him to get out there. Mark Henry comes out. He says that he knew who John Cena was. Well, then he talks about first how that he's hungry, and Cena makes a fat joke um, about Mark Henry, about how he needs a Snickers bar, which is lame. And then he says that after 17 years, when he gets that WWE Championship, it's going to end his hunger. And Henry talks about how he knew who John Cena was before John Cena knew who he was. He's just a puppet. He's a puppet to him and the fans, and he's scared of him. And John Cena says that he's not a puppet, and that he wants to that he's not a puppet, and that he's the WWE champion. And then he said that he's won this and lost this, and he's done it for them. Mark Henry says that he sold out his own family just to get to the WWE Championship. And then Cena says that you sold out these people, and if you don't win that WWE champion, if you win the WWE Championship, you win it. If you don't, you lose a ton of respect from him and everybody else. Henry says that he doesn't care about respect from the fans, and he says that they're going to stop Money in the Bank early. But Henry kind of rolls a leave, and then Cena goes to pick up his title because he had dropped it when he went to fight him, but Henry cheap shots him. Cena tries to pick him up for the attitude adjustment, or FU, whatever you want to call it. But Henry's too fat, so he kind of just falls on him, and then he hits the world's strongest slam on Cena. Holds up the title. Cena's winning at the pay-per-view. That's why Mark Henry stood strong here tonight, because they knew he was going to win at the pay-per-view. Next, Randy Orton backstage. It was an interview. Josh Mathis comes up, and Randy Orton says that CM Punk is not the best in the world, and because he beat him at WrestleMania, and he's going to beat him again tonight, and he's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And if he gets the opportunity, and Cena's laid out like he was tonight, he will cash it in on John Cena. And then we get Chris Jericho versus Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman. We get the Miz on commentary for this match. Paul Heyman suffered a black eye from when he was hit by Del Rio on SmackDown. I think I talked about that. And he was wearing these shades, and he looked pretty badass in them. Just like I should mention, Bully Ray was wearing shades, and he looked badass in those on TNA. Then Bully Ray says Paul Heyman says that he's not there as an advocate for what's his name? No, he's not there for CM Punk. He's there as an advocate for Curtis Axel. And then Curtis Axel says that Chris Jericho claims that he's the best in the world, and he needs to have that that Christmas jacket, just to know he's there. But all he has is the Intercontinental Championship, and he said that no one's taken that title from him, not even The Miz. They had a match, and they had a pretty damn good match. Jericho did a drop kick on the outside. Axel does a neck breaker between the ropes, and then he dominates him some more. Chris Jericho starts to come back, and he hits he goes for the bolt, and he goes for the line so, but Axel stays up, hits the neck breaker on him. Jericho kicks out, hits the perfect flex on him. Chris Jericho kicks out. Jericho puts him over. Jericho punches him, and Jericho gets him in the walls. But Axel gets the ropes, and he puts him, and then Jericho punches him, and Axel goes into the announcer's table, and then he kind of gets distracted having a face off with The Miz, but Axel gets back in the ring and gets hit with the code breaker afterwards. It was fine. It was a great match. I really liked this match. Hopefully I can see like a future IC Championship match between Axel and Chris Jericho, but Miz and Axel I think will have a great match at the pay-per-view. And then it shows Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, and then it shows Rob Van Dam defeat Christian in a ladder match. for the Intercontinental Championship on September 29th, 2003 on Raw. Team Old Scholars interview. They say the same thing that they've been saying, that they're not going to let the friendship get in between the Money in the Bank ladder match. Whoever wins, wins. Zeb Coulter and sorry about that. Zeb Coulter, Antonio Cesaro, and Jack Swagger come up, and Zeb Coulter talked about how the America is being held hostage by certain people, and that he is going to take back control when either Cesaro or Swagger win the Money in the Bank. He talks about how, considering the fact that he's the son of the American Dream, referring to Dusty Rhodes, that he should know a lot about how America is being let go, isn't having control. Wade Barrett comes up and says he's winning the Money in the Bank ladder match, and Zeb Coulter says he doesn't understand them. They all argue. Fandango comes up and goes to say it's Fandango in line, but every time he goes to say that, all the members of the ladder match tell him not to say it. Then he goes to say it, and Wade Barrett hits the bullhammer elbow on him. I was fine. I didn't mind it. I still kind of am dependent on two picks. My main pick, automatic, is still Dean Ambrose. I'm still kind of iffy about Antonio Cesaro or Wade Barrett, because I want Wade Barrett to win, but he hasn't been on Raw or SmackDown. This is the first time we've seen him since he's lost his Intercontinental title rematch against Curtis Axel. So I don't know really where he's going. I guess, like, if he's gonna win, and they could just have Cesaro win, because he's been impressive lately. He's been beating guys like Sin Cara. He's been beating Cody. He beat Cody Rhodes last week. So I'm just kind of iffy what they're gonna do with this whole Cesaro Money in the Bank. I'm just liking the way Money in the Bank stacked this year. On the on the WWE, on the All-Star side, you got guys that have been WWE champion and that are great with ladder matches, and they're all faces. That's the greatest thing, that they're all faces. On the world title side, or the non-All-Star side, got new guys that are trying to get their win, and that are trying to get the big break, and they know that Money in the Bank will be their chance, so they're gonna probably fight like hell. I still think though that the All-Star one's gonna be better, because the crowd's gonna be going wild for RVD's return, and Christian, RVD, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk are all gonna really run great in that match. Randy Orton actually could, because he's got that RKO, so that he can hit it. And that's what made his Money in the Bank ladder matches good before. So he's probably gonna get like an RKO spot. I hope they don't do the same spot where the Orton RKO Punk off the ladder. If they do that, that's just gonna be like, what the fuck. But anyways, and then the WWE.com reporter finally enters the Wyatt family house. There was a guy in there that said, "Obey, obey, obey, obey." And one of the guys says, "Don't simmer." I guess that means, like, point the camera into the other rooms. And he did it, and he's like, "Don't do that." And then Husky Harris like, "You're here. Follow me." Whoa. Yeah. And then we get Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio. Okay match. Del Rio just kind of squashed him. Ziggler comes out, and he's kind of mocking Del Rio, because he's gonna do his ring announcing, Ricardo Rodriguez ring announcing. He's just kind of insulting Del Rio. What kind of pissed me off about this though is, even though Ziggler had the distraction, he still was kicking Sin Cara's ass, and that kind of didn't really serve the purpose, because that didn't really mean that Ziggler was much of a distraction, for one thing. Two, that means they have nothing for that means they really have no faith in Sin Cara, because if he can't even beat up a guy that that Dolph Ziggler talking in the microphone, he's not getting distracted by that. It's just like, wow. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. But Del Rio attacks Ziggler on the outside. They brawl. Sin Cara goes off the top rope on Del Rio. That was it. I didn't care. well, I cared, but it was like they made Sin Cara look bad, made Ziggler kind of look bad because he still got beat the shit out of. The match never even ended either. The bell never rang, so the match should have still gone on. Sin Cara should have gotten disqualified since Ziggler attacked him. Well, just retarded stuff right there. Team Vicky's backstage heading to her. Vicky Guerrero's heading to a John performance, and then it shows Mark Henry attacking Cena. Now we're gonna get Vicky Guerrero's job evaluation. So Stephanie McMahon lets her proceed. Vicky Guerrero talks about how she's done a great job for RAW. She's entertained the people. She talks about how she's had a good has been a part of because of her GM, because of her being in charge. She's been a part with great returns like The Rock, which he was already there when he was before she became GM in the first place. What else did she say? I think she said Punk. She said the only one I think she was right about. Oh, RVD. She said RVD, which is blonde. And she said that she inspired Undertaker to compete once again at WrestleMania. That was hilarious. That made me laugh, actually. And then Stephanie McMahon brings up the fact that she forgot to mention Brock Lesnar, who attacked Vince McMahon, who has attacked Triple H. But in Vicky Guerrero's defense, that happened before Vicky Guerrero even came into power, before AJ Lee was even on top. She didn't also mention, though, that she got AJ Lee, the crazy, out of the GM spot. And Vicky Guerrero said that she did that for business. She had no idea that Brock Lesnar was going to attack Vince McMahon or Vince McMahon anyways. So then Vince McMahon says that she's doing a great job. She's entertaining the people. She's had some bumps along the way, but that's what happens in the GM world. Triple H talks about how she was supposed to promote a video game a few weeks ago, but she was just messing up. She couldn't even get the people were just booing her out of the building, so she couldn't even hear herself. And then Stephanie, and then Vince McMahon says it's just entertainment. They're both arguing back and forth, so they're gonna leave the final decision to Stephanie McMahon. So they're trying to put pressure on her because, in one hand, Vince McMahon is saying that she's his daughter. On the other hand, Triple H is saying that you need that I'm your wife, the mother of my children. You're never gonna hear the end of this when we get home. So that poll was probably just for that reason. Now that I think about it, so the poll was failed. She failed, so she got fired. Then Vince McMahon says that you all don't know what's best for this company. So I'm gonna do. You guys deserve this. So he makes Brad Maddox the general manager of RAW. I wanted this for a long time. It finally happened. Like, I remember he tried to make a match between Chris Jericho and The Miz, and he just was messing up so bad. This is gonna be funny stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing Brad Maddox as GM. He's funny. I really like Brad Maddox. He's gonna be a funny GM. Money in the Bank ad, and then it shows Rob Van Dam's TLC match on October 7th, 2002 on Raw. It showed him giving the Van Dam to Kane, because it was Kane. I remember he was supposed to team up with the Hurricane, but Triple H and Ric Flair had taken him out of the match, so Kane had to compete in alone, and he still won the match, so that's what made it memorable. I don't remember the match exactly because I only saw it once, but I remember who won and I remember the circumstances. And then Mr. McMahon and Vicky backstage. Vicky Guerrero is trying, and Vince McMahon says that he's going to make this right. Brad Maddox thanks Vince McMahon for naming him Raw GM. He tries to shake his hand, but he's like, "Why you still have your hand out?" He's like, "How long are you going to keep your hand out?" It's like, I don't know. And then Vicky Guerrero just attacked Brad Maddox after. It was crap. But I think we still will see Vicky Guerrero in the scenes. She's going to be back probably in about 2 weeks or something and doing something else. Then we get Kane versus Christian. This match sucked. It was fucking boring. It was the worst match. No, actually, it was the second worst match of the night. Kane wins with the choke slam. And then we finally get the Wyatt family. Husky Harris gets on the Titantron, talks about what he's been talking about, how society is not doing that stuff no more. And he says that we're here. He has like a lantern, and their entrance was just so awesome about them. They're coming down the ring with this camera, with this lantern, and the light's dark. It's kind of like an Undertaker kind of feel to him, but that's like completely dark. All you can see is this lantern. Then you see him sit down, and then the other two guys jump Kane and hit, and then they throw Kane into the steps, and they kind of set him up with the steps, and with one part of the steps, and then another part he just kind of hits Kane with it in the head, and he takes him out. And then Husky Harris says, "Who's the big red machine now, huh?" So I wonder. So I guess that's their debut. I'm fine with it, to be honest with you. I just kind of hope, though, that I'm thinking about it, I hope they don't overshadow the Shield, because the Shield's a great stable too, and I don't think that's gonna happen, because I'm pretty sure, I'm thinking Dean Ambrose probably is gonna be the one to win Money in the Bank. But I don't know. I don't think they will be overshadowed, though, because they have the titles, so they're not going to overshadow them. But I just kind of hope that doesn't happen, and hope in the future we can see a Shield versus Wyatt family match. I think it would be good. I would have raged if they had beaten them tonight, because it would really hurt them, because because some of the losses have hurt them, like losing to Christian and the Usos kind of hurt them. So I hope that they don't have them beat them too quickly. Money in the Bank ad again, same thing. Then it shows the Wyatt family's debut again. Vicky Guerrero's backstage with all this stuff. Ryback comes up and says, "It's okay, Vicky, you deserve better than this." They're just continuing to ruin Ryback. It's pissing me off. He needs to win at the pay-per-view. If he doesn't, I don't give a fuck about Ryback no more. AJ Lee and Alicia Fox with Biggie Langston versus Caitlyn and Lana with the Bella Twins on commentary. Fucking sucked. Didn't really get started. Caitlyn just assaults AJ kind of for no reason. Spears her on the outside. What the fuck? Served no purpose. Just to build up the Divas match at the pay-per-view. CM Punk interview. He talks about how Randy Orton doesn't think he's the best in the world, that he has no right to facts, but he has a right to an opinion. And he said that he was the champion. He was the longest champion in the modern era not because he's the best in the world, but he became that because he is the best in the world. So then we get Randy Orton versus CM Punk, and it shows Rob Van Dam how he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on John Cena and winning the WWE Championship. That's one of the matches on the top 50 WWE Championship matches. So I'll get into that when I get there, because I don't want to just talk about it now. But I'll get into it when I get there. As for Orton Punk, it was a great main event. CM Punk and Orton got a lot of offense in. Orton's been pretty good lately. You need to kind of have him have matches with the Daniel Bryans, the Christians, the CM Punks, and he can work matches with those kind of guys. Even Seth Rollins, if they put him in the ring with him. I really enjoyed what Orton's brought to the table. Still has the same moves. He still has the same moves. Punk, though, kicks Orton on the apron. Then he does the suicide dive to Orton, and then Orton works over the head. He does a back. During the break, he did a back suplex to Punk on the barricade. See, though, the thing is, he does have good matches, though, but I just called that a mile away, though. I called that a mile away, now that I think about it. It's just kind of sad when you can call a guy's moves before he does them. I called when he was about to do that